Hello and welcome to the second part of this series where I am building my own version of OpenClaw. If you haven't checked out the first one, I would recommend you checking it out on my YouTube channel to get a better understanding of what I am trying to build and how I am trying to build. Cool. So, uh, as you can see, this is the dashboard that I showed you early on as well, but I have been actively developing, and there are like 38 files already in my instance. I have had 328 conversations. Some of them did not go well as planned, but things were working. Uh, right now, I am actively interacting with my agent through Telegram. So I have channels in here. In the last one, I mentioned that the channels are working. While I started testing it out in production, I ran into a few issues, and so far I fixed them. So the first issue that I had was making WhatsApp actually work. So what does that really mean? Well, there was one bug in production that was causing WhatsApp to fail and not send the messages. That is fixed, but there is one issue still that I cannot message myself. That is still something that is not working really well. So that is something I have put on a hold for now. I'm focused on Telegram right now. It is working really well. And Telegram now has, I think, streams enabled. So instead of just doing webhook calls, I can directly stream messages to Telegram, which is a huge thing because so far I have been gathering the streaming chunks and then sending them on Telegram, which wasn't really a good user experience. But yeah, this upgrade to Telegram is definitely going to make this a better experience. Moving to the next is skills. So I have been successfully able to add the web skill. So as you can see, it is using Tavily. I think that's how you call it. I don't know how do you call it, but it is using now Tavily to search the internet and gather the information. Tavily gives you something like 1,000 requests a month for free. So it is working really fine for me. So I have configured that in here. I have also added the audio skill, and I can send a voice message on Telegram and my agent can actually use that. Some parts of it are there, but I haven't actually tested that out yet. So this is still kind of a TBD. What else? These are the two skills that are enabled in there. The task UI is working now over here. You will be able to see the tasks that are now scheduled for my agent to execute. So I have 4 different tasks which are kind of pending. This are gonna execute every morning, as you can see at 9, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45. So in the interval of 15 minutes. Two other updates, like really good updates I had over here was with workflows. Now, what I am trying to do is create some workflows which will monitor Reddit, Twitter, and other social channels for posts that are relevant for my SaaS apps. I have 4 SaaS apps. Each one has its own different niche. So I want to make sure that I try to see what the community is talking about, what are their pain points, and try to integrate that into my existing apps. Right. For that, I have 4 different workflows, each for one app. And now I can also like go in and see the workflow details. So it gives me what are the steps. It also gives me like the runs. So these, as you can see, were ran into an error. I also see the error message, and then also successfully completed run over here. Another good thing about workflows is when a workflow runs into an error, the agent now will automatically get that error and try to work and fix that workflow. So you don't have to go in and prompt the agent to every time fix the workflow. The agent is going to be proactively working on it and help you fix that. The next one is the memory. Now you have a better idea of what the agent contains. It has the digest. This is basically all the data that it gathers from the workflows over here. It has guides, it has memory. So memory basically contains the logs. So it keeps on logging on things for each interaction so that it can refer to it whenever needed. There is research. So whatever research it does, it stores in here. I have got skills here. There's like temporary, which is like for test, and this is the workflows, which basically contains the JSON files for our workflows. And then there's the soul.md file. There is a workflows marketing planning. I don't really know what this is. So well, this is basically a document which contains the information of what I want my agent to do. So far, this has been working really good. I've also been trying to experiment a lot with different AI models. One thing that is really good that this is using Cloudflare's AI gateway behind the scenes. I get all the logs and I can see which model is performing better and the output that I get, also the cost relevant to those models. In my test, I think yesterday, I tried out Opus to build a workflow for me. Opus did it kind of in one shot, which was fantastic. The cost was like $1 or something. I asked Sonnet to do the same thing, and it took multiple attempts to get Sonnet to actually fix it. And when I checked the cost, Sonnet was more expensive than Opus. That was a really interesting insight. So if you want quality output, and if you still want to make sure you are not uh, spending too much, you might want to go with Opus. So that's what I did. I made Opus my default model and I started using it. I had a conversation with Opus to now build the workflows that you see over here for my SaaS apps. Opus created this workflow, it tested it out, it fixed things that were broken, and things were working really fine. Later on, when I checked the cost, it was a bit too much than what I expected. Well, in the end, Opus did the job really well, but it wasn't, the cost was a bit too much. And that's where I thought of like a different workflow over here. So OpenClaw has a concept of sub agents, and I decided why not try having sub agents over here as well. So my agent can spin up sub agents, and these sub agents are right now using GLM 4.7 Flash from Workers AI because this is like almost no cost. It spins up a sub agent to do any kind of task and just gets the result from those sub agents and returns it back to me. So let's just say I want to do a research. It will spin up the sub agent. It will tell the sub agent what tools to use. It will give it the direction. The sub agent is going to execute the tool, get the information, and then send it back to our main agent. While I enjoy this idea of like having sub agents and a main agent, it did not really made a huge difference when it came to the cost because again, Opus is a more powerful model compared to GLM 4.7 Flash, right? So Opus would definitely give you better outputs compared to what GLM would give, and it would be more iterations. So now Opus would be talking to me and then to GLM to do the task, which wasn't efficient. What I ended up doing, I still have the sub agent flow. I tested out different models. I tested out Codex 5.3, did not really work well, but then I enhanced the prompt and it worked better than I expected. So one thing again, if you're using OpenAI models, they have a really good prompt guide. Just use that prompt guide to enhance your prompt because that is going to definitely update or change how the model performs. I also tested out with Gemini 3.1 Pro and also the Flash model. Both did kind of the same job. I think I'm using Flash for now because it is faster and I don't think there is a lot of reasoning that is needed over here. Flash has good enough reasoning that is sufficient for what I wanted it to do. So that's the update for the second episode of me building an OpenClaw alternative. One thing I am now gonna try out is kind of building a Kanban board because right now this workflows look good. The agent sends me the response on Telegram and also in the web UI. If I open up chat, you will see the interactions over here. So there is like the interaction in here. I get the response in here. But this is not really relevant. I want a better way to view what the response was so that later on I can assign some of them as a task. I can ask agent to dive deeper into a particular item and get more insights into it. So that is the idea that I am now playing around with. I'm looking into the architecture of how I want to do it, but this is something that I would probably be able to share the next time. I also want to make this available to other people, hopefully by the next time I record this, so that the people can try it out, share the feedback that they have, and I can make it better for them. And lastly, I am thinking of open sourcing this, so you can, contribute to it if you want. You can, fork it, deploy it on your own Cloudflare instance, and use it as is. That is something as well that I am thinking. Now I am not 100% sure if I want to do it and if I want to do what the timeline is for that. But that's the idea. I'll keep you all posted on this. And thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you in the next one.